In order to receive a PERM green card approval, a foreign national must have the necessary experience required for the PERM job. Generally, an applicant must have gained the minimum employment experience requirement prior to joining the employer sponsoring the PERM application, with some exceptions, of course. The applicant must meet the minimum requirements before the PERM is filed with the DOL. To show this, an employee will typically provide signed letters from their previous employers confirming past employment and work experience. Ideally, these letters should come from a former manager or supervisor, a company executive, or a human resources representative. Generally, letters signed by colleagues, coworkers, or peers won't be enough on their own. The letter should also be on the previous employer's letterhead with office address, and it should provide the applicant's exact dates of employment, former job duties, and list specific skills gained during the course of employment. The signatory must note their name, job title, relationship to the employee, and provide contact information. Berardi Immigration Law provides our clients with template letters to facilitate these requests. Issues can sometimes arise when trying to get information from previous employers. A previous employer might be unwilling to provide the requested information, or sometimes the business no longer exists. When these situations come up, it's best to get secondary sources of skills and employment evidence. This is where additional letters signed by colleagues or coworkers might be helpful, in addition to a simple employment confirmation letter from HR, which confirms the dates of employment. Secondary evidence could also include affidavits, the employee's pay stubs or tax returns, email correspondence, or self-employment documents. The goal of secondary evidence is to establish the dates of employment, both the start and end date, and to detail the nature of the work completed and skills obtained. In spite of authenticity, secondary documents still may lead to a request for evidence, or RFE, from USCIS. So when should PERM applicants obtain employment verification letters? Well, while this documentation isn't actually submitted to the government until after the PERM is certified and with the I-140 petition, best practice is to have these letters in hand at the early stages of the PERM process. For my clients, I ideally want to review this documentation before the sponsoring company starts recruitment. We want to avoid any surprises in the underlying PERM strategy and what sort of documentation can be documented by the time the PERM is actually filed with the DOL. So remember, all employees being sponsored for a PERM labor certification must demonstrate that they have met the minimum requirements as set forth in the sponsoring employer's PERM application. Always submit the best available documentation and evidence with the I-140 petition, as proof of the requisite skills and experience is a critical part of a successful green card application.
Thank you for watching our video. We hope you found it helpful. We'd love if you would like our video and if you would subscribe to our YouTube channel. And don't forget, hit that notification button so you never miss another video from Berardi Immigration Law. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.